Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kayfabe Today podcast. I am your host. My name is Eric, and you can find me on Twitter for now at MTLBroski514. I'm here today with 2 out of 3 my regular co-hosts because one of them is having a little nappy nap. He's having a little nappy poop because she was tired. But we'll get to that in just 1 second. We're going to ignore the people who aren't here, and we're going to praise the people who are here. A man who stands atop Mountain Drew, looking down at us with vengeance in his eyes, ready to cover every single one of us with that sexual napalm. Drew Ortman is in the house today. Drew, hello, my friend. How are you?
Hey, good.
How was that? Was
napalm, is that peeing thing again?
Oh, how dare you? That's the pre-show. How dare you mention the pre-show? But first of all, I got a little bone to pick with you. Was that a good enough intro for you, Mr. Ortman?
That was I mean, it was there. It was in the running, I guess.
I told everybody that you peed on them. It's a pretty fucking big vote of confidence.
Well, you win the grand prize in intro content.
Okay, good. Fuck you, Robbie. And up next, my good friend who doesn't pee on anyone because he's a decent human being, right from the Hibiki TMD YouTube channel. Travis is here with us. Travis, what's going on, buddy?
This is the most seductive intro I ever heard, by the way, for Drew. I'll just put my Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to be back. We're high atop with my friends once again on Mountain Drew Kayfabe Today podcast. Good to be back. Check me out on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out Hibiki TMD on YouTube, all that good stuff. Let's do it.
You just dropped a new Hibiki Honors, too. Might be one of the best. Do you want to tell the good folks who listen who it's on this time?
I did. I bit the bullet. I figured, hey, on the hiatus on the channel, I'm still featured on here, still going through weekly here, and we are featured on Grapple Vision with Hibiki Honors, so we're still going to provide it there for people to check it out there. Living up to the obligations I've set, my contractual disputes. Yes, Power and Glory, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, featured this time on Hibiki Honors, so get over there, check it out on Grapple Vision or Hibiki TMD.
Go look at it on the Hibiki TMD first, hit subscribe, then go take a look at Grapple Vision, see what there is to offer over there. Speaking of Grapple Vision, I now run I run it with a few other people, the Facebook group. So be sure to go check out that. Lots of stuff is going up daily. It helps because I'm not the only one who runs it, so it's not a barren wasteland like my own First Thing in the Morning Facebook group. Go join that. It's a link dump. Enjoy that. But yeah,
I have a group. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I do. I do on Facebook.
I'm just kidding. I'm in it.
I thought you were. I was like, wait a minute. How dare you ignore my notifications? Well, I mean, you wouldn't know it recently because I haven't put out anything aside from the podcast in the past 3 weeks, I think. But I promise more is coming. And if it doesn't, who cares? Just send me money.
Green screen. Holla.
That's coming at the end of the month. It should be here in like 10 days about. I'm really fucking excited about that. It's pretty big. It's 6 feet by 9 feet. And I've already had a bunch of ideas of things that I want to insert myself into and different video ideas. So I'm looking forward to getting that. How dare you, Drew? He's right though. He's right though. The first thing I'm going to do is take my favorite clip from Pornhub and then insert myself into it. It's like the first thing. Like when I thought I was like, I can put myself in porn. But like it's going to be great. It's going to be great because no matter what I do in these videos, I'll always leave the lady satisfied. So, you know, I'm confident this is a good idea and a bright future for my channel.
Whatever happens in the green screen stays in the green screen. It's like your personal Vegas. Yeah.
Exactly. And if I want to, I can just go to Vegas and never have to leave my room.
There you go.
I feel like Wayne's World. Hey, we're in Delaware.
Oh my God. Travis, was that you doing the sound effect?
Yeah.
That was really good. That was spot on. So I got WWE 2K18 this week. I've been playing a hell of a lot of it. I'm just gonna get right into. I've mostly just been playing the career mode. I'm gonna get into my main annoyance. Is I hate the running around backstage stuff. I absolutely fucking hate it. Because the way it works is you'll start every day in the parking garage, and then you usually have to go see a producer, or you have to go see Stephanie or McFoley or whatever. To get your activity for the day, and you can talk to other superstars. Most of the time it's useless, but once in a while you'll get an additional mission for like more points and shit that you use to unlock abilities, right? And that's all fine. But my problem is like you'll do this thing where you'll choose your day, so then there's a loading screen. And the loading screens are insufferably long. And I know it's so lame to sit there and be like, oh, my video game isn't loading fast enough. But my fucking video game isn't loading fast enough. So you'll get the first loading screen. Then you're in the parking garage. And then for some reason, as soon as you go from the parking garage to like the main backstage area, there's this incredible wall of slowdown that hits. So your character looks like he's moving through Jello. And this lasts only a couple of seconds, but it's just annoying because you know it's coming every time. So once you get through the wall of slowdown, you go to the backstage area where you have another inane conversation with somebody that leads to a mission. Then you actually go to this whiteboard. For some reason, you have to talk to the producer. Then you have to go look at the whiteboard. The guy can't just fucking tell you what match, and he's like, oh, go look at the whiteboard, bro. I'm not paid to tell you what to do. So you go look at the whiteboard, and then you get a fucking loading screen. Another insufferably long loading screen. And then you get the screen that previews the match that you're in, which, guess what, is another insufferably long loading screen. Then you finally get into action. And this is where it really bothers me. If it's a match, it's not that bad. But when it's a promo, you play for about 2-3 minutes, and then you're hit with another insufferably long loading screen. So, like, out of 20 minutes, you'll play about 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then the rest of the time, you're just sitting there staring at your screen, contemplating what the fuck you're doing with your life.
Yeah.
It's
exactly. And I like the game. Flat out, that's my biggest #1 problem with this game is the loading time. There's a difference between people come at us like you would say about bitching about loading times. There's a difference between Uncharted or a Witcher or a game like that having a big ass loading time at first, but then it's like it's on, right? And then it's like for the most part
all the time.
Even in sports games like MLB The Show 17, the load times are bad, but every single aspect of going to every mode, creator wrestler, arena, anything, except for like the community creation shit, takes forever.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. If you by some misfortune click the wrong option, you're sitting.
And I've done that, and I got
me
pissed.
too.
Like, you know what? Fuck this. I closed out the game and I did something else. I'm not doing it. This is literally the load times are so bad for me. It strayed me from playing the game, and that's never a good thing. And I think another big thing that's noticeable about how bad the load times are is I don't know if you've played Universe mode a lot. That's probably my favorite thing in these games, just create my own world, whatever. They're so bad in that they have personal videos for the load time, custom videos. While you wait, customize your shit. Basically.
Oh my god! Wow, no, I haven't touched you. I've really just gone my career, but that was the first thing. Like when it feels like you're reinstalling the game every single time that you choose a menu, there's a fucking problem. And it's not like, look, the game plays well. The control style is fine. I've never been I just learned, like, I don't get really that upset about control styles. I just learn whatever control style is the one that this game is using, and then I'm okay. It gets a little frustrating at the beginning when you're used to something and they change it, but it's not a huge like complaint that I ever have. The 6-man matches, like the Royal Rumbles and just like 6-man matches, they're decent. There is some slowdown, but it is decent enough. It works fine. You can have good matches.
Have you played Survivor Series though?
No,
That
I haven't.
sucks.
I
It's
haven't. No,
the thing you were talking about.
it's the slowdown. Like
That's literally. I saw that mode was in there. I'm like, no fucking way, because it's been one of the modes I've longed for over the years. Survivor Series 4-on-4, and I do it. It's slow as hell.
And look, I don't know. Maybe I'm a like a visual snob, but the game kind of looks shitty to me. It doesn't.
The entrances look good for the most part. Some of them are garbage, but the character models and some of them are fucking brutal. Look, God, I love Mickie James in real life, but her. Jesus.
Oh my God, she's horrific.
Bailey's weird looking. Alicia Fox kind of looks weird. Like she has.
They finally nailed Renee Young though. They finally got her. She finally looks like a human being.
I will say, like your top, like Roman, Balor, Rollins, those guys look excellent. Guys like that, for the most part.
The top guys
I was
look great.
disappointed in how bland fucking Bray Wyatt's attire is. So, like, I did a custom for him, like one of the first custom. Like, the customization, if that's your thing, which it's mine, I couldn't recommend this anymore. Fire Pro might have it top, but Fire Pro's fucking insane. Nothing's gonna top Fire Pro.
If you like Minecraft wrestling games, this is one of the best because you can do a lot. There is the customization. I did take a look at that. I immediately put in the Kayfabe Today podcast and my logos in there that are available to download. I put a bunch of the Broski Club logos with the different flags that you can download as well. So that's all really cool. And the actual gameplay, once you finally get there, is pretty solid, and it's fun. I've been stuck on a Royal Rumble for 2 days now, and it's pissing me off. I suck at the Royal Rumble. They always get me in the ropes, and then they just clothesline me. I have no option, like no opportunity to counter or nothing. It just happens in a blink of the eye. Like I'll just be like looking down at my ashtray, look back up, and it's like, oh, I lost. I get to watch another fucking loading screen. But I mean, it's not a huge improvement over last year, so there's that. Visually, the entrances look great, but like Travis, you mentioned the character models and like the backstage stuff, just the way your character controls when you're backstage, it just feels like PS2 era, like an American Chopper type of game. Like, you know, something that they just slapped a license on and they didn't really give a shit. Like,
in the career mode you're talking about.
Yeah, when you're in the career mode, when you're backstage, not the fights, but when you're like not when you're actually wrestling. When you're wrestling, it's fine. But when you're playing and you're like running to like, and I know it's such a lame complaint, but sometimes you have to go from one area of the backstage to the other side of the backstage, and it's just like, God, my character runs like he's retarded. Like,
the career mode's garbage. I fell off within 10 fucking minutes. I was like, this is lamer than PS1 ones with text.
Well,
and it's a fetch quest. It's pointless.
The one thing I will say over last year is that they get you up to the main roster fucking quick. And then once you're there, they do a pretty good job of switching things up. Like, you'll get into feuds, and it makes sense. The only thing, like, I was in a tag team with Cesaro, and then he turned on me. I was genuinely upset about it. Posted a tweet, called Cesaro a son of a bitch. We were destined for tag team gold, and he ruined it. But no, I mean, like, the career mode, in a sense, is better than last year for the simple fact that you don't spend 55 hours in NXT facing Hideo Itami 9 times out of 10. They do switch it up. They switch up the match types. They switch up the stipulations. So there is a concerted effort to make the wrestling part of the career mode better. But overall, the stuff that they added backstage just holds it down, mostly because of the load times, and mostly because it's so fucking tedious. But I gotta say, I kind of regret paying full price. I wish I would have waited till it came down and got it on a sale. And I don't think next year I'll be buying it within launch window. I think I'm gonna wait.
Not unless there's like drastic changes.
Unless
to the
there's for me personally, I play it because I always like the career mode. I always like building my wrestler from the bottom and building him up to get strong, and then going from getting my ass kicked to beating the shit out of everybody in 2 minutes. I've always liked that progression. I've always liked the stories and stuff. The last couple of years have been disappointing. Unless there's a major overhaul of the career mode, there's no way I'm buying this 2K19 anywhere near the launch date. I'll just
They need
wait.
to take a page out of fucking NBA 2K18 because they get praised recently for their career or whatever.
Yes.
It's really deep, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I haven't played it, but I've heard that it's really deep and it's like it's involved. Whereas this, it just feels like you're going through like menus, but the menus are even more counterintuitive than if it was just text on a screen.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a headache. I do like.
But other than that, if you want to be Typhoon versus fucking Tatanka and
the things you can
Kayfabe
do,
Arena,
the things you can do is amazing. Like, it's incredible and it's a lot of fun. And I have a lot of ideas of setting up different cards. Like, let's say for the Survivor Series coming up, well, I would set up the Survivor Series card in WWE 2K18, and then the weekend before the pay-per-view have a simulation and just see what the results are, and then comparing the results the following week on the podcast. Shit like that, just to get more involved. But I don't know. Next year, it's not looking good for a day one like buy from me. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I still like once you get through the bullshit and you actually get to the actual wrestling game, I like it. It's fun. It's fun to beat people up. It'll always be fun to beat people up. So, you know, plus I made a tag team with me and Kevin Owens, and we just kill everyone. So
nice.
Can't get
Drew,
mad at
did you
that.
pick it up for Xbox yet?
I haven't. I just haven't played it yet.
Drew has a stack of games that are still in the original packaging.
Absolutely. Better resale value.
Drew buys games to sell them at a loss. I'm gonna be financially independent.
One day I'll be successful with it. You'll see.
Oh shit! You should crack it open, so you can play
this weekend. I will, for sure.
Good.
Maybe
I'll be around.
Possible.
Wow.
I don't know.
Boy, those chances went down pretty fucking quick.
It was like the stock in India, apparently, for WWE. Oh, sorry. Too soon.
Jeez. But Travis, this is one quick final word. Would you recommend the game if someone picked it up? Let's say someone hasn't picked it up in a couple. As someone who hasn't picked it up in a couple years, are you happy with the game? Aside from career mode, obviously.
And I feel like Broken Record say it all the time. I haven't played a modern 2K WWE game since 2K14. That was on 360. That's when they had the 30 years of WrestleMania mode. Hogan was in it, all that stuff.
Right.
It's been a while. I've yet to dive into one on the current gen. For someone like me, most definitely. For someone that bought last year's game, probably not. Depends what you're looking for. If you're flat out going into this game looking for an in-depth, fun career mode, I would say pass.
Yeah.
If you're going into it like us, like wrestling nerds or whatever the word is, I would recommend it. It's fun time and you can't miss.
Oh, and here's one thing that fucking annoyed me, right? I went to cash in my money in the bank because you have no choice at one point in the store. You have to cash in your money in the bank. I cash it in, and then I get screwed, so I lose. That's when Cesaro turned on me. That's why I hated him. I lost the match, right? So technically I should lose my money in the bank, which would be fine. But I was also Intercontinental Champion at the time, and they just took that title away from me as well. I didn't understand that because it wasn't on the line. That pissed me. Montreal Screwjob happened to me personally, boys.
It does still suffer in the universe mode too from random matches. And you got to go back and edit it. Like, why is Heath Slater going for the title against Lesnar on Raw and stuff like that? And you're like, I've always hated that, but it's just little nuances.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a fun wrestling game. If you bought it last year, you can probably wait till it goes free on gold or just buy it used at some point. I'm sure the price will go down pretty quick. So
I'm much more hyped for Assassin's Creed Origins, which I just opened out of the package today, Drew. Finally, or no, the other day, and it's installed now. It's been in there, ready to go. So,
well, since we're talking about video games, I just picked up the new Call of Duty as well. I haven't picked up a Call of Duty shit. I think the last one I picked up was Infinite Warfare. Was that the first one when they went like futuristic or modern day, or was that modern? No, Modern Warfare. Which one?
Modern Warfare. Yeah,
that was the first one, right?
Modern Warfare was like current.
But it was the first one where they shifted from World War II to like modern day, right?
Basically, for the new path for the series, yeah.
That's the last time I played a Call of Duty.
Yeah, I haven't played one since Ghosts, and I was so disgusted. I was like, because I've never been hardcore into it, but I'd have fun with the multi and the zombies mode always.
This one is fucking fun. This one is really good. It's intense. The first mission is storming the beaches of Normandy, and it gave me PTSD.
And look, they totally They totally did the fucking thing with Battlefield. They try to compete, and people fault them for that. But you can't fault them. It's business. They gave you Battlefield in a certain mode. They gave you pretty much Battlefield 1 in a game. Plus, they have their zombies mode, all kinds of other shit.
It's really fun. I've never played zombies before. The campaign is
excellent, because I haven't played the campaign yet, but it's really good from what I've seen and heard.
I've played the first 4 missions, and I've been thoroughly entertained. All 4 missions are really, really fun. I really enjoyed that.
That's like 3 Hibiki Quickie episodes right here on Kayfabe. Okay.
So there you go. We went from wrestling to World War II to zombies. We're all over the place this week.
Knocking them out, boys.
See what happens when I become the host again?
Shit gets back organized again. And yeah, look at that. No, I'm just kidding.
Shit's all over the place. What are you talking about? I guess we'll talk about wrestling. That's why we're all here. A little bit of news this week. We were scrambling before the show. We'll pull back the curtain while I fucking apparently almost die by breathing. Yeah, there was another release in WWE. James Ellsworth and WWE have come to terms on his release from the company. What a story, James Ellsworth. I saw a few people were angry about this, but I don't really think you should be angry. The guy, for one, has a win on television against AJ Styles. That's pretty good for a guy who was in the Indies. Not like, 6 months before that happened, he was in the Indies. He's got his own T-shirt on there. He's a guy who had no real business being in the company. He went from being Braun's beat-up doll to beating AJ Styles and getting in a feud for the WWE Championship. If anything, his fucking story is a tale of, inspiration. If you really do have two hands, you got a fighting chance. You see, like how I tied that up?
Even if you're Zach Allen.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Don't mention him. I'll start making cripple jokes, and then everybody will think I'm an asshole again.
I agree, though. He's total definition of overachiever. Did way more than he probably ever should have. And
the second that he got kicked in the face by Carmella, I was like, well, he's done. And I think I mentioned it last week on the show that'll never air because it's lost in the ether of the internet. But I think I mentioned, I was like, I have a feeling he's going to get released last week just because of the way that all went. That just smelled as, you know, somebody's leaving the company and this is the way. He's doing the job on his way out. So, you know, good for him. I mean, he got to live his dream to do something that no one really ever thought he'd ever get the chance to do. So fuck it, more power to him, man. I didn't like him initially when he was a face, but when he started being a heel and started kind of being, and then he left on the greatest misogynistic promo of all time. So, you know, it's all thumbs up for James Ellsworth. I like the guy. I thought he was funny looking.
Turning negatives into positives with this, I'm looking forward to the shoot interview he has because I've always wondered the resentment backstage towards him, stuff like that. I know he travels with Nakamura, or he did. That's a really weird pairing, but I can't wait for the shoot interviews.
I kind of like that about wrestling. Like, who the fuck would have thought that Nakamura would be traveling with James Ellsworth?
Yeah.
But there
it's
we
like
were.
John Cena traveling with Funaki.
Or Michael Cole.
Or Michael Cole.
Him and Michael Cole are like best friends, apparently. Him and John Cena, like that. Yeah.
I bet Michael Cole is cool as fuck in real life, man.
Maybe.
I almost guarantee it. For some reason, he strikes me as someone who's like a big nerd on TV. But I bet if you chill and you get a couple beers into him, and he's got stories for days, man. Could you imagine? He's been there forever.
Yeah. He's been there a long time, since like 96 or 97, something like that.
When he had frosted tips and got beat up by The Rock. Good times.
Frosted tits or frosted
tips?
Tips. Cereal?
Tips. That is a little shitty goatee.
Hey, maybe he did have frosted tits. What people do behind the closed doors in the privacy of their own home, that's none of my business.
Hashtag frosted tips. Do you remember DX giving him a wedgie? That was a great moment.
Hashtag frosted tits. I'm gonna put that on Twitter right now. I hope I don't get suspended for it again.
Speaking of frosted tits, Carmella and him actually had good chemistry. I thought they played well off of each other.
Jesus, that transition. I agree with you. I just had to call attention to that transition. Speaking of frosted tits. Oh my god. No, but
that worked out way better than WWE thought they would together, and they just kind of ran with it. Well, okay, let's see where it goes.
I think
did it hit a wall? Like in their mind, it hit a wall because they released him. But did it have more mileage? They could have got more out of it.
I think it was.
Well,
go ahead.
Would Carmella even been nearly as popular because Ellsworth just brought that extra heat that I think she needed, especially with getting Money in the Bank.
I think it's something that they just put together to give him something to do since he was on the payroll, and then it took off way more than they thought it would. Because I agree with you, they had tremendous chemistry. I think they helped each other, really. And I think he really helped Carmella. That and obviously the Money in the Bank win are the two things.
He helped drive home the fact with like the gimp or the dog thing that she can be a manipulative, controlling bitch. That's what they're trying to implement with him as in position, basically.
Yeah, and he did it perfectly up until the last week when he got lippy and he found his fucking balls.
He started doing jobs on the house shows all week to women, and then he was gone.
Well, how many weeks was he in the main event scene on SmackDown? And it was actually a pretty good show.
Long enough for people to start hating him. So a week and a half.
It seemed like every week it was like something in James Ellsworth.
Yep.
Well, they gave him a huge push out of the gate, and people got behind him.
You know, I miss talking smack like we all do every week, but when I think of that show, one of the first people I think of is James Ellsworth. He made himself on the post show with AJ on that show.
That's
it was
true.
I don't know, like they did a little too much with it. You know, it was just overdone like they always do with everything. They can't help themselves, but it was fine. It was entertaining.
Yeah, like with most things in WWE, if they would have cut it back by 2-3 weeks, it would have been perfect. They just dragged it on a little bit too long, and that's when people started hating him. And then they actually did something smart where they turned him heel.
It made more sense. They just went with the fans.
They booked James Ellsworth better than like 90% of the main roster.
The wardrobe particularly was tremendous. The way that he would just get heat. It was like Cornette kind of thing where he would just get heat from what he was wearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when he started wearing like the feminine Carmella gear and but it was like thugster kind of.
Oh, man. So I mean, you know, James Ellsworth, he gave us many laughs. He made some of us angry. You know, he made us a better part of the human experience just by doing what he loved.
Wow. He kissed Carmella, he tasted Cass, and he got to pin AJ Styles.
Yeah, what Travis said. Much better than what I said. So that was like the biggest for me. I moved on Monday, and I've been kind of in a certain type of haze ever since, just coming down from all the stress from the previous weeks. So I've been kind of off the grid for wrestling news. So that was the biggest thing that stood out to me. I guess the other thing that I noticed today was that WWE went from having 2 shows in India to cutting it back into what they're calling a super show. So basically they're cutting 50% of their quote-unquote tour. Is it really a tour if they just have one stop?
It's probably boiled down to they didn't have enough reliance or faith in their whatever they had going over there. I think the only way they think they could like do whatever house good business is if it's the same fans come back the next night. I don't think their demographic of theirs as big as they say it is, obviously, on air. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree.
And they panicked, I think. And they're like, whoa, you know.
And they replaced the main event that was supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Jinder Mahal. They replaced Owens with Triple H.
Yeah, if that's not a plea for, and I love Kevin Owens, don't get me wrong, but, you know, if that's not a plea for please watch this, I don't know what is. Just like kind of Survivor Series, but we'll get to that.
Oh, we will. We will. And I think we'll get to that sooner than we thought, because as far as news goes, that's all I got. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add to this first segment, but as far as I'm concerned,
it's just no news, but I will say a mark out moment possibly this weekend of wrestling between NXT and this stacked Survivor Series card. I'm really excited for in general.
It should be pretty fun, especially and we'll see if the NXT continues its streak of being better than the main roster pay-per-view. Although last time it was pretty close. NXT still took it home, though, for me personally. That last NXT is going to be hard to beat. That card was fucking great top to bottom. So I'm definitely excited for a TakeOver. Mm-hmm. And then the big show supposedly the big show is on Sunday with Survivor Series.
Is Starrcade still just a house show?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
It is weird.
It's funny, though. It is a bit, like, even all these years after, it's still a big fuck you to WCW. We're taking your biggest show, and we're going to make it our house show, you know?
Yeah, that one they should have just kept in their vault, I feel. Some shows just should never. Like Halloween Havoc, absolutely. Please bring that back. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they always do the corny-ass Halloween match around Halloween time on Raw anyway, so might as well just have a whole pay-per-view. Make it goofy. Who cares?
I always thought Halloween Havoc was one of the cooler names, too, for any pay-per-view ever.
Definitely. Yeah. Didn't they?
Always like the entranceways, too.
Yeah.
The paper-mache gravestones. I know Halloween just happened. We're a little bit late.
Back when...
It's your welcome home, broski, so we got some catching up to do, I guess.
Yeah. Back when fucking wrestling events had sets. Remember that? Different sets for different shows?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Now they're just here's some ladders on a string. It's a different set.
Or here's a fucking phone booth and like a black taxi cab when they're in London.
You're in England. Yeah. You're in fucking England.
Like I'm as a Canadian, I'm a little offended. Where's my giant can of fucking maple syrup and a hockey stick?
Where's the moose?
Where's my moose? Put a live moose. If this was the Attitude Era, they'd have a fucking live moose strapped to the ceiling with the Owen Hart ropes.
Involved in like a Boss Man Al Snow angle or something, probably.
Oh no! What is Boss Man gonna murder and cook the moose? Because moose is actually delicious, so that'd be cool.
He's gonna make poutine out of it.
Oh, moose poutine. Is there anything
moose poots? Oh my god!
Is there anything more fucking? Is there anything more fucking Canadian than moose poutine?
No, just put maple on top, and that's it.
Jesus Christ! Well, we'll take a little break here on Snackcast, and we'll be back right here on the other side of this advertisement. Yay, advertisement, with our Raw review and recap.
Yuck.
If you're not tuned in to the Shining Wizards, listen to what some of our fans have to say about the show.
If you want to listen to Kevin's bad jokes, listen to Shining Wizards.
Tune in live every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. East, rantemradio.com. It's the Shining Wizards, where it's wrestling talk and talk about wrestling.
We're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Most of you. I probably missed none of you. But we're back here on the Kayfabe Today podcast today. I'm here with Drew and Travis. Robbie is taking a nappy nap because he had a big day. I mean, I think that's speculation at this point. But we're not here to speculate about what Robbie does in his free time, even though now he's on the clock and he's not here. So we'll be looking for a new fourth chair because Robbie is fired. We'll see if he listens to the show. Don't tell him I said that. We'll see if he supports his boys when because I listened to the show when I wasn't on. We'll see if he does the same. And if he doesn't bring it up, well, then he's fired. So either way, he's fired.
He'll hear this on his iPod while he's hanging and banging in the gym.
Just throw the weights across the room. What the fuck?
Oh, God.
Says he's taking a furious...
Robbie's here? That sounded just like him. I thought he came here for a second.
Well, yeah, I am his father.
That's true.
I grounded him on Instagram. I embarrassed him in front of his friends today. It was fucking hilarious. For some reason, Robbie goes around to, like, because for those of you, yeah, I think we said it. Yeah, Robbie worked at a camp. I think he said it himself. Robbie worked at a camp in America this past summer, and for some reason, he was walking around slapping this poor girl's thigh, and a girl made a comment about it on a picture that he posted today, and I was like, Robbie, why are you walking around slapping young ladies' thighs? How dare you? You're grounded. And then his friends started thanking me. I embarrassed him in front of his American friends. I really am his dad. I always forget, but I put in my Twitter profile that I'm his father. If you look at my Twitter profile, the last thing it says is at Robbie Radford's dad, and I always forget that I put it in my profile. So every once in a while, I'll go look at my profile to see what's going on, and then
if you look at like the year, you're like the age or whatever. It's like you were 12 if you birthed them.
Pretty much 12 or 13. Yeah, yeah. Fuck. Actually, that makes sense because I lost my virginity at 13. Holy shit. Maybe he is my son.
You're a strong lad.
Wow. To go back to those days, now I just sit here and talk with you virgins about wrestling. Meanwhile, Travis has like 15 kids.
They're adopted.
Oh, fair enough. That's fake news, and I know it.
That is fake news, yeah.
Enough about Travis's domestic situation and Robbie slapping girls. Jesus Christ. We're just going to get into Rob before someone gets arrested. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Good. Here are your official results, because I know you're waiting for them. Bailey defeated Dana Brooke and Mickie James at 7:27 via pinfall. Enzo and Drew Gulak defeated Kira Tozawa and Kalisto at 7 minutes and 50
75 minutes.
75 minutes. It was the whole last hour and the overrun at 7 minutes.
That would be the last wrestling show I ever watched.
Yeah, I would kill. Yeah. you and
even if Gulak was steering the ship for 75 minutes, you'd tap out, Drew.
Oh, that's way too long.
Well, if it's going to be anybody, I guess it could be Gulak.
He could do
Catch point.
He could do it, but would anybody want to watch that for 75? I don't want to do anything for 75 minutes.
I do.
There's one thing, but we're not the podcast.
Jesus, Drew. Hit me up after this podcast is over. 7 minutes and 55 seconds via pinfall. Enzo and Gulak defeating Tozawa and Kalisto. Jason Jordan defeated Bray Wyatt at 7 minutes and 17 seconds via pinfall. The Shield defeated Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro at 14:55 via pinfall. And then Finn Balor and Samoa Joe defeated Anderson and Gallows at 12 minutes and 59 seconds via pinfall.
Oh, but did other things happen?
Oh,
My
yes,
God.
sir. Yes, sir. We kicked off the show with a McMahon because God forbid when there's a McMahon around, we don't start the show with them. And this is something I've noticed, and maybe we'll get to it later when we talk to SmackDown, but real quick off the top here, people are always complaining, oh, the show started off with Stephanie, but SmackDown for the past couple weeks has started off with Shane.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane has a less painful voice to listen to, so I get that.
I think they bitch more or less because Stephanie, quote, demeans the talent and the storyline. And I think we said this. We didn't even shout out Future Wrestling Podcast. There's us three, too, the same crew on there the other day. But I think one of us said this, that Stephanie's so much better on the mic than Shane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she is. She is. But the thing I noticed, and it was glaringly obvious, we'll skip ahead to SmackDown just real quick, is one thing we all know, but like we don't see it that much, is that Shane McMahon has basically been a heel the past couple weeks, taunting Raw, taunting Kurt Angle. He got his fucking ass kicked on Tuesday night, and it was great to watch. Like, I don't know if you guys...
When it's two baby faces, like, he started it unprovoked. He totally had the undersea shit, right?
He's not a sympathetic figure at all in this whole thing.
Nope, not at all. And I agree, and I think Kurt Angle comes off as the babyface totally in this. And I mean, unless they're going now with Shane that route, but then you have this. And by the way, we didn't mention the news of your boy KO and Zayn. They are back. I don't know if it was a work, but I figured with the shit with Orton, that you see those tweets this week, bro?
I did.
Yeah, I figured with that, it's a good possibility they'd be back.
Oh, I knew they would be back. Are they going to be in a prominent role on TV anytime soon? Probably not. But it looks like Orton is going with KO in a feud, because all that shit is totally kayfabe.
Yeah.
So.
But then this opening segment of the Shield came out, right? Roman's return, which got a good pop. Robbie actually said in the DM he was ecstatic about that pop for the big guy.
It did give him a pretty good pop, even because Ambrose and Rollins came out first, and then he came out. So. Yeah. He had a chance to get booed, and he didn't. I didn't really hear that many boos at all. But we'll get to that real quick. Stephanie McMahon is here. She's basically emasculating Kurt Angle round 2. That's pretty much what it was. Questioning him about. She questioned him about adding Jason Jordan to Team Raw and not getting John Cena like SmackDown did, which I felt was fair. That's a fair criticism.
I like this. I like the logic in this promo right here.
Yeah, it did make a lot of sense. Angle vows that he's going to start the match, and he dares Shane to join him and says he's going to break his ankle at Survivor Series. But then Stephanie, that's not good enough. She continues to bury Kurt Angle and says that he can't hang anymore. And she also adds the little gem that she wants her brother's head on a silver platter. Family relations all-time high over at the McMahon household. I thought
can we all cut the shit on Kurt Angle real quick? Can we all agree he is a shell of himself on the mic? He is
he's not very good.
Can we do that hot take real quick? Because even when he said that line, you just reminded me of breaking Shane's ankle. It was abysmal. It was like Ken Patera levels of.
And you can still sense what Kurt Angle, the one we used to know, but it's like he practically fried his brain. Like it just isn't functioning properly.
I don't know. Like, and I feel that way too. And I don't want to come out and say it, but he totally comes off. And I know he's aged. We all fucking age, right? He comes off like the proud papa. And most, like, if you see him on like a red carpet event, out of character with these guys come up to him, he looks so wide-eyed and just doe-eyed and happy. Like, and every talent that comes to him is like, I love these guys. He's just happy to be there, and can't fault him for that. But I get what you're saying, Drew. Totally.
CTE and drug use.
Yeah, he just feels like he has a step. He's a step behind from where he used to be, especially on the mic. I mean, we've only seen one match that he didn't really participate in too much. So the jury's still out on his in-ring, but his promos, yeah, I agree with you. He doesn't feel like the same old Angle that we know. At this point, Stephanie had almost removed Angle's complete scrotum, but the Shield arrived to back him up and to praise him a little bit, and says that he's going to prove her wrong at TLC. She then decides that Angle's testicle sack wasn't enough, so she wanted 3 more. She then decides to degrade them and to run them down for losing their tag team titles.
She loves balls everywhere.
She does, apparently. And says that Angle and the New Day made them all look like fools, speaking of the Raw roster. Then she asks Roman where the hell he was. He asks her the same thing, and then says they don't want what she wants. They don't do what she wants, sorry. What's that, sorry?
You think about the half shirts.
I hate them. They're fucking terrible.
Me too.
They're awful.
It hurts my eyes in a way to look at. Like, make up your mind. Like, what are you doing?
Like we don't understand that they're in both groups. Yeah. Like we can't process that without a fucking t-shirt.
What side are they on again? Reigns then says that they want to fight the New Day, and if they accept, they will face each other at Survivor Series, which should be a pretty damn good match, honestly. So
yeah.
I thought it was a decent opening segment. I mean, as far as a Stephanie McMahon promo, it was her cutting testicles off. But I felt that at least with the addition of the Shield here to kind of back up Angle, she kind of got put in her place a little bit here, which, let's be honest, she's not going to get any kind of comeuppance. Like, she'll take her one bump a year at WrestleMania, but on a weekly basis, even on a monthly basis, we're not going to see her get what she deserves. So this was kind of felt like a slight win for the babyfaces, which, when you're getting your testicles cut off weekly, you'll take the wins where you can get them. Am I right, boys? Am I right?
How do you think? How do you think Roman came off on the mic here for his little line?
I think he came out fine. I mean, he didn't have too much to say, and that's when Roman Reigns is at his best. When he's to the point, says something, alpha male-ish. That's what he does. I thought it was fine. Ambrose is the guy you want talking, and you just want to keep Rollins as quiet as possible, unless he's a heel, because he has such a whiny fucking voice. It doesn't work for a babyface. If
he's a babyface, just have him jump off of high things and do flips.
Yeah, exactly. People
and
love
I'm
that
serious
shit.
too. Like the little Daredevil act. He's the Daredevil of the squad of the Shield.
He's the Jeff Hardy of the crew, just not as crazy as Jeff Hardy. I think that's fair. So up next, we had our first match of the evening. It was Bayley versus Dana Brooke versus Mickie James, and I believe the winner joined the Survivor Series team. That was the stipulation here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Geez, what to say? Mickie James, god damn, she's hot.
She is.
And
it's shocking Bayley won. I mean,
I'm not that shocked. I thought she'd be on for sure. I did like Asuka fucking killing. She fucking killed Dana Brooke.
Yeah, that GIF was tremendous.
She scares me. Asuka scares me probably more than anybody else on the roster.
Didn't all the women came out after the match, correct? With
No, they were out.
Or was that later on?
They were out all out at the beginning.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they were all out ringside. That's where Asuka got into. Like, she tried to, for some reason, help Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke was being a cunt about it, and then Asuka was like, "Oh, we're not going to be doing this tonight," and then beat the shit out of Dana Brooke. It was great. In the end, like we said, Bayley picked up the win. It was good. It was good. When it came down to Bayley and Mickie James, I felt it was better. Like Dana Brooke, nothing against her, but
You think? I mean, I like Dana Brooke's look. She's had a great entrance. I mean, she's not sore in the eyes. Potential, I would say, is the best way. She just needs more seasoning, and if she doesn't got it, she doesn't have it.
Needs some polish. She definitely needs some polish. But yeah,
great word usage.
That was the ladies for now. Then we had Enzo and Drew Gulak, who were making their way to the ring. The Cruiserweight title match is official for the pre-show. Enzo does what Enzo does and says that at Survivor Series he faces Kalisto, and he says that he is money and he made 205 Live great again. I added the again. Gulak looks to talk, but he gets interrupted, which was that's the worst. All I was waiting for was for Gulak to talk. And then he starts talking, and he gets interrupted by Akira Tozawa and Kalisto, which leads into their match. I took a piss. I didn't.
Are they still going with that supposed Team England versus the 205 Live guys, or is that not happening?
I think that was just a rumor.
Okay, good, because I was not looking forward to them doing that.
Yeah, well,
it didn't make any sense. I don't think.
No, because Wolfgang could beat up like two of the guys at once himself. I think, like Perceptions, Reality, all that stuff. You can't build division guys like that, I guess, and just have to be obliterated.
It's hard to mingle the 205 Live crew just because their whole show is based upon you're smaller.
Yeah, that's true.
And it kind of makes it awkward.
Speaking of the cruiserweights, tied all together with 2K18 earlier, you want to know a pro tip of the day?
Yes.
Straight from the horse's mouth. You want a quick way to get cash to unlock guys? Just fight like any cruiserweight as a guy over like 85. Twice the amount of money. There you go. That's the most exciting thing about the cruiserweights for me lately on television is talking about the game.
So I guess it makes sense. Enzo and Gulak win here. Enzo gets a little bit of momentum going into Survivor Series, because why would your challenger need any? WWE. But whatever. It was a 205 match, a 205 Live match. And a tag match at that. So I just want Gulak to get a turn on Enzo and get a shot. Then I'll watch. Then we go to backstage where Angle meets with Team Raw, noting that he doesn't want to take any chances. He's making Joe and Balor face the Good Brothers tonight to show and to prove that they can work as a team. Then he books Jordan and Bray Wyatt, and Braun wants Kane. Kurt gives him Kane. I love this part. He's like, I want Kane. Well, Braun, I want Kane. All right, Braun, you got Kane. And to anybody who says that WWE can't make any stars in 2017, fuck you. They made Strowman.
Maybe he was just trying to cut like a mayor race promo. I want Kane for mayor.
Yeah, exactly. There. Some subtle marketing. I like where your head's at, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I liked? Miz
What?
TV. I don't even remember what happened, but I needed a transition. So you got Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas who arrive for Miz TV. Miz who proceeds to then hype Survivor Series and mock Baron Corbin, teasing his many squandered opportunities and that he may lose to Sin Cara the following night on SmackDown. Miz says that when he's presented with them, he takes his opportunities, and he says when there are none, he makes them. He then hypes the match against The Shield for later on this evening and brings out Sheamus and Cesaro. Miz proceeds to congratulate them on winning the tag team titles. Sheamus saying there's no surprise, blah, blah, blah. Cesaro talked like he had a bunch of dicks in his mouth. Why does he take out his mouth guard when he cuts promos? It sounds ridiculous.
Teeth will fall out.
It's probably a rib on him backstage. They fucking encourage him to do it so they
Maybe.
can laugh.
I thought this was fine. I mean, it was all building up to a match that was already announced, and my only real issue was that it was 15 minutes long. It feels really long, and it makes it just feel like even more filler than it obviously is. But what can you do? It was a Miz TV segment, so it was fun. It was fine because Miz, when he talks, is good. That's my
Thank God it was the Miz.
What's that?
Thank God it was the Miz.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. There's no argument for me on that one. Up next, we had Jason Jordan versus Bray Wyatt. The biggest thing here is that Bray Wyatt beat the shit out of Jason Jordan after the match, injuring his knee.
Ooh.
Oh.
Good.
It's Bray Wyatt back too, back from the sickness.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Neither him or Roman look like they've been. They look fine, like they're okay.
But you know what's
I thought Roman looked like a hair smaller, but not as jacked.
You think?
Yeah, the arms, anyways. I thought his arms just kind of looked like.
why are you staring at
Yeah.
Roman's arms all the time, Drew?
Because it's hot.
Jesus. Sounded like you put the mic down your throat. That maybe you did.
I like it like that.
Oh dear.
Ugh.
Oh. Oh. My.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Naya. Hi, Naya.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm on television again, if you hadn't noticed.
I did notice, Naya. I can't wait to. Are you excited? Do you have any predictions for us for Survivor Series?
She laughed.
Oh,
Right before the hot take.
yeah.
takes
She
off.
always
Yeah.
leaves. She got nervous there for a second. She doesn't want to say the wrong thing and have to go ask her cousin to what to do again.
She's already on thin ice. So.
She doesn't want to.
I hope not.
Oh, hi-yo.
Sorry.
Oh
Hey-o.
my!
God.
Let's keep this train moving, boys, before we say things we can't take back.
I mean, she'll come back if you piss her off. Don't do it.
No, don't piss her off. But we go backstage where Jordan is with a trainer and Kurt is there and he doesn't think Jordan can compete. On Sunday, Jordan begs him to let him fight. I deserve this, Dad. Typical
He
entitled
killed me.
millennial.
Oh, his face and the sound of his voice
Yep.
and just the cracking the whole. He killed me. It made me feel so uncomfortable because it was so bad.
It was really bad. He's terrible. He's really bad. They got to cut their losses. It's not
He's bad
like,
at this.
the funniest part to me was when Wyatt was beating the shit out of him, which was obviously a bid to gain sympathy. They were cheering. Thank you, Wyatt.
You know what Jason Jordan was good for? Tag team wrestling.
Yep. They put him with Gable in the first place because they felt that Jordan didn't have enough charisma and that Gable could carry both of them. That was the whole reason they were put together.
Hey, and it's
Not
still
even
true.
because they look so much alike in their wrestling gear. This is, to me, like taking the Steiners in 1990 when they were just starting to get momentum as a great tag team. You could see their future and splitting them up and be like, "Oh, Scott needs a singles run." No, it would have fucking ruined it.
And then you put Rick with Bill Kazmaier.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you put him with I don't know. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. That's all I was blown away by the Bill Kazmaier reference.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was one of the first.
I was
wrestling
tucked
shows
way
I ever
high
watched.
up in the trees and the mountains.
That's why he's on top of the mountain and we're scrambling with sticks and stones
Yeah.
at the bottom. He lives in
true.
a palace. We live in huts constructed with shit and mud.
Yeah, always having to
Jesus.
rebuild them.
What-
Cut it back.
One good drizzle from the top of Mountain Drew,
Oh god.
and our shit huts are gone forever.
Oh, I'm
Just when you went,
lost
oh,
where
God.
we're at on Brawl now because of the drizzle.
Oh yeah, wrestling. We go to a segment where Paul.
Oh,
Heyman,
Jason Jordan being a ball baby bitch and a millennial.
There you go. Yeah,
Let's talk
typical
about that
millennial.
some more.
Okay, well, what do you want to say? What are your feelings on it, Drew?
He sucks.
That's the type of in-depth commentary that people come here to get from Drew. You can't find that anywhere else. You can't find those kind of hot takes anywhere else on the internet. Only
Kayfabe
here
Today.
on the Kayfabe Today podcast.
Sometimes he's all over the place anymore.
So, did you really want to talk about how Jason Jordan was an entitled millennial, or are you just trolling me?
It's just showing more and more how desperately they need to pull the trigger on the heel turn. And I think at the end of the show later, which we'll get to, he did a little bit better job than this.
It was still bad though.
Imagine though, if you really think about it, what if he does the heel turn and then he's just always the whiny little bitch?
That would make sense at least.
For heel, it could be good.
I'll hate him. That's true.
It'll work. From there, we go to our, once every couple months where Paul Heyman talks and Brock Lesnar hops.
Man, that whole the breakdown in the middle with the chanting was
when
pretty
the guy
awesome.
proposed to his girlfriend in the middle of his promo.
How
my
he
God.
ripped them was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it. That was great. For those of you who might have missed it, there was a chant that broke out of someone proposing to his girlfriend, and the crowd started chanting. She said yes. And Heyman said something to the effect of, she only said yes because she's never been up close to the beast, which was fucking amazing.
Which I'm sure made Sable happy to hear.
Oh, Sable. Don't mention Sable. You'll give both Vinces gigantic bone. They'll call each other.
Both Vinces, yeah.
White panties.
White panties.
Do you remember the white panties, pal? Hey, bro, I still got them in my briefcase, bro.
My God, what a lady.
Put that shit on eBay.
For $80.
We can't afford pyro anymore. We're going to have to start selling some shit, pal. Sell those Mexican wrestlers.
Grand Metal League, get out of here.
How many pesos can we get for Kalisto? Yeah, but aside from Brock completely destroying a marriage before it got... aside from Heyman completely destroying a marriage before it even got a chance to start, this is pretty typical Paul Heyman promo here. Building up towards Survivor Series. It did what it had to do.
It was really funny that
gender with AJ in the promo, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, yeah.
It was funny from the beginning too. It was just like kind of a below average Heyman promo, and I was really zoning out from it. But after that whole thing happened, I was 100% invested at that point.
Yeah, I love that fucking just how quick that was.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly he was like, "Oh, bitch, you want to really do this during my promo? How dare!"
Shout out to that guy that proposed for being a sucker and making the segment better than you. True.
Yeah, that's true. Can't deny that. Thank you, Mystery Man. And I hope your marriage doesn't dissolve within a year like 50% of the marriages in
We'll see
America.
you pop up on one of their DVD box sets of like the stuff you don't see on air or whatever, I'm sure.
Just see their court case.
Yeah.
Their divorce trial. Then I think we go into... No, this wasn't the main event. We go against we have the Shield here versus Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro. I thought this was pretty... I thought overall it was pretty good. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good. Good little TV match for what it was. Average.
Man, there was just so much of the same stuff going on.
Yeah,
for
that's fair.
A long time.
It's really just like, hey, do you remember what we did in 2013 every week as a team? And they just did that. Just standard Shield match. Nothing. It was good. It wasn't.
Well, the thing that kind of bothered me is that it shouldn't have been booked at all because neither team really needed this loss. And it kind of hurts whatever team loses. It's right before the pay-per-view. Kind of hurts Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro, considering all three of them are going against SmackDown next week.
Should have just been the
Sunday.
Miz Taraj instead.
What's even crazier about it is it's like they had that match, Shield won, and now they're going to face the New Day, and I'm pretty sure the Miz, Cesaro, and Sheamus could kick the fuck out of the New Day. So.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, for as interested as I am in that match, it's lopsided.
Yeah.
Well,
paper.
not just that,
Okay.
but if you think about it for 2 seconds, the Shield beat the Intercontinental Champion and the Tag Team Champions.
Right. On Raw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was shouldn't have been booked, in my opinion. We go to Kane backstage cutting a terrible fucking promo about facing Braun.
I laughed so hard at that one. It looks so awkward.
Well, there's a direct quote here. I can still remember the sound of that garbage truck crushing his body, a true symphony of horrors. Fuck off.
Vote for me.
Yeah, it crushed it so efficiently that he was back the fucking next week, you big dumb fucking red retard.
Can you tell he lost his fucking his candidacy or whatever? He didn't win because he's doing promos like this again. Back, when he went away for a while, because he knows like they're gonna feed him shit like this if he comes back. So he stepped back when he was running for mayor. Now he lost, so he's back.
Did he
doing
lose?
his line. Yeah, he didn't win. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it happened already.
Oh.
I think Drew told me that.
Did I?
I think
Maybe.
so.
Hot takes. Too many hot takes to remember.
Too many of them.
Drew
I'm gonna
just
OD.
sends DMs when he's been out spraying fucking sexual napalm around his area.
Yeah, you ever see? I'm sure you've seen Orgasmatron. It's like that, but the napalm dust is like it goes.
Oh shit, that's good. Then we go to they show real quick clips of Lita versus Trish from 2004 where Lita almost died on the suicide dive attempt. That's ironic. She almost died on the suicide dive. But do you guys remember
Why
that
did
when
they show this again?
What's that?
Why did they show this again?
I think because of the match between the two champions, they were like highlighting great women's matches, I guess.
Oh.
I think. I don't really
I mean,
know.
October's over. The pink ropes are gone. But okay, sorry. My bad. Hot take.
Booby cancer. Kurt Angle arrives. He says that Jason Jordan has been injured, and he's pulling him from Survivor Series, which prompted Jason Jordan to come out and cry some more. Please, I just want to fight, Dad. I'll be fine on Sunday.
Oh, it's so bad.
The cringe.
It was shrieking.
It
types of
was. And then
And it kept going. He like kept saying the same shit over and over and over. It's like, cut him off.
But
Was it horrible or was it well executed for that character type?
No, I think it was pretty bad.
I think it was poorly executed.
Yeah, I just think he's not.
I think it was too soon. Like maybe unless he's going heel, like at the pay-per-view.
He should. I think he's gonna.
Yeah, I think he definitely should.
It's the only way to get Triple H eliminated or Angle, probably in my eyes, in the booking.
Yeah, the way I saw it, like I called it on our Future Wrestling podcast the other night, that I thought for sure it would be Jason Jordan who cost Kurt Angle the elimination. But now I think it could go either way. It would either be Angle or Triple H. I could see either one. Him. Oh boy, Jacobs for me. Oh yeah, these T-shirts. Yeah.
Those are new ones too. I think the election.
I'm gonna save that image. I'm gonna put it in the game and I'm putting it on Kane, the corporate Kane. There you go.
I like the Bullet Club knockoff. That's pretty good. I wonder if he'll get a cease and desist.
By the way, update on the cease and desist. Young Bucks and them are killing it in merchandise and Hot Topic and all that stuff. By the way, the WWE's only made them more money. I know that's off track, but I know we talked about that in the past.
Yeah.
I guess we.
Well, I mean that was that's to be expected, but it's in Hot Topic, so fuck them.
Did you see Hot Topic on the tweet about it? Like they altered their logo for fucking Bullet Club lettering. I'm like, oh come on.
Oh God. Well, they're like, we finally have something successful. Let's milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah.
They'll ruin it. I'm not worried. They'll ruin it. One of my choice lines. We'll just get back here real quick to this promo. Don't take this away from me. I won't get another chance like this. Your dad makes the matches, you dumb fuck. You'll get another chance. And then he keeps playing the father card. Stephanie arrives, cuts him off, and then thank God, the Lord and Savior of WWE, Uncle Paul, makes his return to Raw, says he's the 5th member, and then pedigrees the fuck out of Jason Jordan. Beautiful. Absolutely
now it's wrestling
beautiful.
again because Uncle Paul knocked and came home.
Yeah, it felt good. WWE was good again because Uncle Paul was home. He's not the bad touch uncle. He's the uncle you like.
In all seriousness, did Triple H's placement make this lopsided, or do you think these teams are even now?
Christ, it's hard to say. I think if you're just looking at it in terms of the guys in the match, I think it's it favors Raw because SmackDown is smaller.
Yeah. And even like the two special entrants, the GMs, one of them's a former gold medalist and one of them's a McMahon. Like, even there it's lopsided in a way.
You're right.
I mean,
the McMahon is better.
In the past, you know what I mean? But
yeah, no, I don't think it's lopsided because I think there's a lot of star power on both teams. I think each team has their big guy, like their top draw guy.
Cena and Uncle Paul.
Exactly. And then you could just kind of like, although Balor, Joe, Strowman, and Angle, Raw does have a very strong team. I mean, Bobby Roode is kind of new. You know, he's not really been established, hasn't really had a big match yet. I feel like Raw has a slight, if you just look at it in terms of star power, I guess, I think Raw has the advantage.
Hell of a compliment in their eyes for Roode's future in that company to put him in this position too this early on the main roster. I kind of feel. I mean, Nakamura's been there for like a year now, almost.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he would be on there. Doesn't make sense that Kevin Owens wasn't on there, but we'll get to that later.
I still see Roode going heel eventually. I think it's going to work out good.
Yeah, I think he should as well. We had Finn. Good heel. He is a good heel. We had Finn Balor and Samoa Joe versus Anderson and Gallows. That was a thing that happened.
Interesting when I saw that as a highlighted match. When I went back, I was like, oh, really? And I checked out. It was okay. Yeah. You got some nice little spots there. It
was fine. Balor and Joe worked well together for most of the match. A little bit
the dynamic of the I hate you, but we have to win this match was really good between the two.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite dynamics in all of wrestling when that works out well, when they do that kind of storyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was good. I appreciated it. Then we had a backstage interview with Alexa Bliss, who basically said, doesn't matter which bitch I have to face, I'll take him down. And then finally we had Braun Strowman versus Kane in our main event. It never got started. It was a brawl. It was just a brawl that led up to a power slam through the ring.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sure did.
How did that sit with you guys? Did you enjoy that spot? Did you feel it was a little bit too contrived, like you knew it was coming?
It started on a sour note for me because when you look at the time and you have something like that coming up, you're like, oh, they're not going to have a match. Something's going to happen.
So late in the show before they go to their last break. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you think of the two big guys, like you're like, oh, they're going to break something or bust through something, and now it's so obvious whenever you have like they book it as two monsters in the main event, like that's what's going to happen. Something's going to get fucked up.
There's that, and like they just did this with Big Show and Strowman. I feel like twice already this year. I feel like this kind of thing once every year or two you should do.
Yeah, you don't want to do it too often.
It was totally expected and boring. I was checked out already by the time it happened.
Point in case, nobody's talking about it on social media because it just came off. What happened? You know what I mean?
Everybody turned it off by then, I'm sure.
So that was Monday Night Raw. Did this do anything for you guys, enticing you to watch Survivor Series?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah, the announcement of Triple H, does that work for you guys?
I think as much as we bitch about the company, both shows in the past 2 weeks have done a fairly good job at hyping me better than it was for what we thought the card was going to be. So I can't complain anyway for SmackDown or Raw on that.
Fair enough.
All right, and I mean, yeah. Are we happy because they are making the cards into what we want? I mean, it's kind of that weird thing where I think we had talked about it on a previous show. Is this the future where they're just going to keep molding everything to what the fans exactly want, and then before too long it's...
The event of fucking Survivor Series literally looks like Vince went back and saw someone playing the new game and saw in Universe mode. That was one of the random they made. It's like, oh my God, make that a match.
Yeah. The thing is that if you go online and you kind of look at Twitter and you look at the vibe that people are putting out there, everybody's pretty excited about Brock and AJ, right? And that makes sense. They're two big stars, and it's a match we've never seen before, so there's that excitement. But if you really stop to think about it, people complain about, oh, there's no storylines, and there's no long-term storylines anymore. And yet here we have a match that's, let's be honest, thrown together out of panic.
Yeah.
And no one's complaining. So it's like, well, what the fuck do you want? You know what I mean? Like, it's that thing again where we're beating a dead horse at this point of just people not knowing what they want. And the result of that is WWE changing their entire card a couple days or a couple weeks before the actual pay-per-view itself. And it's a dangerous road to go down because wrestling fans are some of the most fickle people on the planet. They'll love you today and hate you tomorrow. James Ellsworth, who we spoke about in the first segment, he experienced that. People went from fucking loving him to telling him he should be fucking dead and never come to the WWE.
Guys are starting to experience that. Nakamura's edge is off as far as popularity. I feel like it's dropped since they booked him into shit. I mean, it's still there, but it's not what it was.
No, definitely not. No, and I completely agree. I mean, I was one of the biggest proponents of I'm really excited to see Nakamura in WWE, and if I'm perfectly honest with you guys, I kind of tune out during his matches now, and the entrance, that whole aura wore off quite a while ago. So, you know, it's I don't know, it's just a testament to... I feel like if you don't come from NXT, even if you do come in from NXT, there's a good chance you're going to fail. I don't know. It's weird. These guys come in with so much hype, and the only one who really seems to have maintained it for a long period of time is AJ.
Yep.
In terms of guys who were made before they came to WWE, and I guess Bobby Roode is kind of taking, but he wasn't really made. He was made in TNA, but that's like, I don't know, being made at like, you know, your local theater as compared to somebody who's made in fucking Hollywood.
The biggest umbrella factor, though, and we say it, and everyone on every podcast has a broken record about this, but it's really the biggest fucking problem. Every time your biggest show a year comes around, you say fuck you to the guys that are there all year, and you put in part-timers.
Yep.
Survivor Series comes off to me like that pay-per-view had started like where the guys get the only real part-timer on this besides Triple H and Uncle Paul. Same person, sorry. It's Brock and Uncle Paul, right? John Cena's borderline part-timer.
Well, dude, dude, you said Triple H on Uncle Paul. I bet if they could, they would book that match.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure one would represent SmackDown and one would represent Raw. Storyline. No, but I think that's the problem. There's not this, and that translates shit rolls downhill, right? So that shows your fans that this new era guys, we don't rely on them enough. So why should you? So why should you give a shit year round?
Yeah, exactly.
They're only going to come around when the nostalgia comes in, pal. Once a year. No, that's the worst way to book your biggest show of the year. And they keep doing it, and it keeps showing. Every year ratings go down. Every year people have the same fucking complaints, and it's, you know, well, hopefully they're learning their lesson.
It's like we get invested in these characters for an entire year, then come, you know, Mania time, they're mid-card, and these guys who we used to care about come back and take up all the top spots, and it's an okay business move once in a while, but when it becomes a trend at your biggest show of the year, that's not a good way to fucking build your business. I know this is like bringing up like your NAMM story, like your PTSD for you, but it was legit, like logically, we had every right to be so mad. The way they shoehorned Goldberg and took Kevin Owens' title reign, and even though his reign sucked, that was awful the way they did that. It was. It's not like, fuck you, you're irrelevant now, we need Goldberg for WrestleMania. And did that match set the world on fire? Was anybody really fucking, did Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, did that make any long-term fans come back? No. The one thing everyone still talks about from this year's Mania are two guys they're not doing anything with, the fucking Hardys. That's the main thing for Mania in my eyes that happened. Everyone's still buzzing about, but no, you know. Do nothing. Sorry to rant, but I just had to say. No, it makes sense. It's frustrating because the Hardys' return was probably my highlight of WrestleMania in terms of moments, because they always like to say that WrestleMania is about the moments. Well, okay, that was the best moment, and now a year later almost, and they did fuck all with. Sure, they got the tag team titles for a couple of times, but after that, they got the Shield nostalgia merchandise going. They got that going. They've done quite a few things right this year, flat out. Like I said, it seems like right now, but I felt like this year, last time we were having the same conversations, like momentum feels like they're changing now. But no, like I'm not going to hold my breath again. I'm not going to get disappointed at another fucking Royal Rumble. I'm just going to set my expectations low, and that's the best you can do anymore as a fan, because they can't help themselves. At the end, they always go towards their demographics, what they think makes money in their eyes, which is part-timers. Yep, and the people, they keep relying on people who used to draw now. But what can you do? Until they hire us, things aren't going to change, boys. So we just got to keep holding out and hoping that one day they realize how valuable we are. And we'll be on creative, and then we'll turn it around. And then the internet can hate us, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun to read all our Twitter hate. Can't wait. Bitch. So that was fun, wasn't it? That was Raw. Raw is war. Uncooked.
Unfiltered.
This is Marking Out.
Hello, it's Brandon
and Dave,
and we do a weekly pro wrestling podcast called Marking Out.
And you can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and markingout.com.
You guys are awesome.
As always.
And we're back. What a glorious day it is. We're here to give you the Kayfabe Today podcast. I had nothing better to say to return from the ad break. So yeah, let's get into SmackDown, boys. I'm here with Travis and Drew, as always. Robbie's taking a nap. He's taking a little nappy nap in his crib. He had a big day.
It sounds like you're going to play a sound clip every time, but no, he's nailing it, guys, every time on cue to sound exactly like the last time he said it. It's talent. I can't believe it.
If there's one thing I pride myself on, it's my consistency.
Especially when it comes to burying Robbie with the golden shovel.
I'm going to bury Robbie, but I'll unbury him after. I mean, he is my son. I can't totally bury him. I'm not Kurt Angle.
Robbie's definitely missed this week. I'll say this.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Not Kurt Angle.
I'm just going to get a t-shirt that says...
Well, fuck it. Let's give him a pedigree, too, while we're at it. Fuck.
Good. Fucking Robbie. I'm giving you a podcast pedigree.
Boom.
Yeah.
Makes women look
But yeah,
strong.
I think on my new merch, I need some new merch. I think my new merch is going to be not Kurt Angle. I'm just going to put that on a white t-shirt. Father of the Year right here. Me and Robbie are going to win a trip that I'm going to not invite him on and bring a lady instead. All right, I'm into fan fiction territory, so instead of boring you with my my weird-ass fan fiction, we're going to do the SmackDown official results. The U.S. title match, champion Baron Corbin defeating Sin Cara at 7:24 via pinfall. SmackDown women's title match, Charlotte defeating champion Natalya at 10 minutes and 40 seconds via submission. Jimmy Uso defeated Chad Gable at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus The New Day went to a no contest for very good reason, but we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, so Shane, oh God, this was awful. Shane gave the most cringiest pep talk to the SmackDown locker room to kick off SmackDown this week. It just felt like a preacher who was preaching to a very indifferent choir to me. Like, yeah, they were fired up, and like, he would point out people, and then they would cut like a 2-second promo, and part of it was that it was Becky Lynch, and she said things, and I just, I hated it.
Was it Robbie that sent the Seinfeld meme of that?
Yes, it was.
The Seinfeld.
What's the deal with dropping buy rates?
What's the deal with Raw? God.
They have 3 hours, but they only need 2. What's the deal with that?
It's always weird whenever they do these in any invasion angle or brand split, when you see the talent sitting down backstage like that. Like, I hate that because it's breaking the fourth wall type shit. I don't know. It's dumb.
It is dumb. I hate seeing wrestlers in their gear just sitting doing normal things. That's one thing in WWE 2K18. In the career mode, you'll have like dudes in their full gear like Goldust just standing looking at a fucking iPhone.
I mean, he's got to check some shit before he goes out to the ring. Maybe it really happens. He's got his phone out, his makeup on. He doesn't have a blindfold on. He can still use his phone.
Yeah, I know. He can.
I just want to see a picture of that now. It's just Goldust on the phone.
Next time I do it, I'll screenshot it.
In being a total mark.
I mean, real Goldust on a phone in his gear is what I'm saying.
That would be so annoying, getting all that gold paint on his phone.
Just act natural.
Screen cover.
Reference.
Screen cover. Daniel Bryan's back. Kick off the show with his promo. I thought it was very impassioned. It was pretty good. It was pretty long. But it was a good way to kick off the show and kind of build hype towards selling Survivor Series.
Being the new manager of AJ Styles, apparently.
Yeah, that was pretty funny too. He's not as good as Heyman, but you know he did an admirable job being an advocate for AJ Styles. Yeah, it was great. I mean, he felt like he actually cared. He felt like there was some fire behind his promo. So that's always good.
Which is weird. Passion. When I watch his promos every week, I'm like, man, he's really nailing it. Like he's invested, but like you hear he doesn't care backstage. I'm like, well, which is it? I don't know. So if he's a true professional, shout out to him. If he doesn't give a fuck, but he's still like turning in shit like this, what do you think he does?
I don't think he's letting his hair grow, so that makes me think he's going to be in the ring soon.
Lots of rumors about that too.
Oh yes, there is. Possibly in WWE. Oh my. We'll have to wait and see. U.S. title match. Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara. You know what? I can't believe I posted this tweet earlier this week. I can't believe I'm actually going to say it out loud. I haven't hated this.
Good match.
I kind of like the story.
I was going to say it too. Good match. I liked it.
And I like the story they've been telling with Sin Cara and Baron Corbin. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it's been pretty entertaining. Good.
So when's the part where Sin Cara beats the shit out of him in catering?
Soon.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Because that'd be awesome.
It has to happen.
The show after Survivor Series.
What was your gimmick that you wanted to give him, Travis?
Oh God, what was it?
Sin Cara. It's like he doesn't give a fuck or something. Where he just.
Oh, like the first ever badass luchador, like a Brock luchador.
Yeah, he.
Like it's a hybrid.
Just feed him a bunch of roids.
Yeah,
I mean, great. No, but a good match. Probably like a surprise to me. I really enjoyed it, and I've been enjoying this feud in general. Which, God, again, I never thought I'd say. Brian,
I've been enjoying Corbin as the U.S. champion in general, which I never thought I'd say. I enjoy his bully character because he's kind of a dick in real life.
Yeah,
it works.
It works for him. It doesn't feel like there's much of a character there. It just feels very natural, which I like.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan then meets with Shane backstage. They say they are good to go and that they are unified, but Bryan wants to talk after Survivor Series and that they need to get on the same page. Interesting. Then we had the SmackDown Women's Title match between Natalya and Charlotte. I didn't watch it. We've seen this so many fucking times going all the way back to NXT. I mean, they work, from what I saw, they worked well together, but I mean, they always do. It's nothing really new. The crowd seemed to be into it, which was nice. And then they had the little, I wish my dad was here, but he's at home watching Raw or watching SmackDown. And then he just kind of showed up. So there was Ric Flair on TV, and to which prompted me to put up the poll, what did Ric Flair do more, bleed or cry? And I was surprised because I guess a lot of new school people saw the poll. But Cry ran away with it. But they clearly don't remember old school Flair. Motherfucker used to bleed. So I personally would have chosen bleed. But I'm old school. So
it's a neck and it's a photo finish on that. And I put a tweet out that said, "Fuck you, Ric Flair. I love you for making me cry." Because I did. I teared up.
Fucking faggot.
Silly me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. We got a Bludgeon Brothers promo afterwards. They debut next week. You guys think this is? You guys think this is dead in the water? Or it has legs.
How dare you? I'm gonna steal your catchphrase. How dare you? I feel like the one human being alive who's hyped for this.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I'm just questioning whether the gimmick has any legs.
Drew.
The indifference is dripping off his voice.
Does it have arms?
Right. It has no face. I don't know. It's. I wish I could care more about it.
I kind of like their podcast. Their podcast. The fuck am I talking? I kind of like their promos.
Podcast. Holy shit!
Where they just screamed into mics.
Podcast with Eric Rowan.
Wow, geez, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was really good.
Luke, I will say one thing I don't like. Luke Harper's promos are getting worse than these. I don't know what it is. It sounds weird, but Rowan's okay.
I think I think somebody on creative played too much WoW.
Possibly.
Every time I see those, if they don't come to the ring with their big hammers, fuck this gimmick.
I give it a month before they drop it, regardless.
No, I want them to keep the hammers.
They're gonna have like a fucking hotline where you call in. It's like a microtransaction to get those guys like a title shot because they're gonna wow it and like game it and fucking.
Well, they don't have confidence in it either. I mean, they've been on house shows in their old gear. I'd probably just to test it out and see if they get a better reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So in the house shows, they're not the Bludgeon Brothers?
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think they have faith in those guys either. They've been there forever now.
They have been there for a long time, and they've never really had anything too significant to do.
4 years.
Christ,
That's a presidential fucking term right there.
Well, there you go. There you go. We got Jimmy Uso versus Chad Gable. It was solid. I felt like Chad Gable showed a bit of heelish aggression. Like the way he was going at Jimmy in certain parts of the matches didn't feel like a babyface. So I'm wondering, is there going to be a heel turn? Like, are they going to switch roles? Or Jimmy and
Ever
Jay?
since they did that thing with Gable backstage at the Under Siege where he attacked Jason Jordan, they've made him more of an edge ever since.
I like it. I got to say. I like I like the little extra edge to Chad Gable. I feel like he needs it. He shouldn't ever rap again. That's just something he should never. But if he feel like okay, I'm not going to tell anybody what they can and can't do. Maybe just do it in the privacy of your own home if you really need to rap. That's fine. Just don't do it on TV anymore. But besides that,
unless you're getting paid,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No one. Okay, in that case, no one.
money.
In that case, no one should pay him to rap ever again. There we go. Cover my bases. But yeah, I thought this was a perfectly solid TV match. Usos have a match, so I felt the right guy won. Usos have a match at Survivor Series, so I felt like they should pick up the win anyway, to build a little momentum to their match with Cesaro and Sheamus. So nothing wrong here. They say that Charlotte's replacement for Team SmackDown will be revealed on Sunday. I've seen rumors that it might be my girl, #5-star Nikki. I'd be happy with that. I'd love to see the booty shake. It's been far too long since we've seen that booty shake, boys. We need it back on Tuesday nights.
It's Paige, but if you want to pretend it's Nikki. It's got.
He's right.
I know
apparently
he's right.
She has heat from what I've seen, but whatever.
How?
I don't know.
She hasn't even been there. That's fucking next. Maybe I should start liking Paige. She's pissing people off without even being there. God damn. Okay. I downgrade my to
Star Paige. There you go.
I'm not. No, how dare you? That's only for Nikki. How dare you? I don't like Paige. I don't like her. Anyway, moving on. She's still not Becky Lynch, so we'll give her that.
You're not. She's my Becky Lynch kind of in a way. Like I kind of dread her, and I'm not. I've never been over enthusiastic. She's completely overrated. Like she's okay. Yeah, her family's tough, but that doesn't mean I have to invest in her to be my fucking go-to. You know what I mean?
No, Travis, she's a woman, so we have to. If you have a penis, you have to do nothing but glorify them and treat them like they're retarded. They can't do anything on their own.
You're right.
That's what being a male feminist is about, Travis.
You're fucking right.
I know I'm right. Okay.
Shout out to WrestlePie.
Ugh. I will not retract that. Ugh. Fuck WrestlePie. The New Day cuts a pre-match promo. They called the Shield dogs that eat their own poop. I can't believe I read that out loud.
I laughed when they said it. It was funny.
The way that they boiled it down here in the review but the way they said it, yeah, it was dogs eat their own poop. That's my.
I think one thing I always love about the New Day, they're that one act. Even this is supposed to be you're in there with the Shield. Your angles with the Shield. It's supposed to be, but they're not doing it serious. It's kind of the ironic.
Yeah,
thing
I kind of like. I got to admit, I kind of like that though. They are who they are, no matter who they face. But once they get in the ring, if you think back to the Hell in a Cell with the Usos, they can turn on that different level of being aggressive and not being goofy. So I think that's why it works.
They're going to surprise people when they wrestle the Shield. I think they're going to come off intense.
I think they have a chance to steal the show with the Shield, honestly.
I do too.
Because if you think about the Shield versus the Wyatt family way back when the Shield was starting to turn face, those were some fucking great matches, and they've had multiple of those matches. So,
And that had Eric Rowan in it, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. Exactly. This leads up.
Because he's great.
You're great.
I know.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. That's my new catchphrase. Shut up. The New Day, Woods and Big E versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I guess we could just get to the big story here. The match was going on. It was decent. It was all right. It wasn't anything spectacular. But then the Shield arrives, and they come down looking for a fight. Now, it appeared that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were going to stand by the New Day. But as the Shield made their way down to the ring and circled it, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn dipped the fuck out, because why show any loyalty to the brand that shits on you and sends you home for from European tours for no reason?
I love it.
It was great. As soon as I saw them bail, it was predictable. I was like, they're going to bail. They're going to 100% bail. And then they did, and I was like, fucking beautiful. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And I'm glad that they didn't just do the thing, well, we're on the same show, so we got to be best. No, fuck that. You want to screw with us? Screw you. I loved it. Loved every single moment of it. And then finally, SmackDown got what they deserved when Team Raw came down and absolutely destroyed everybody. It was pretty good. There was Bliss laying out Charlotte, Balor, Joe, Cruz, and Titus, and they arrive with Shane. And then Shane arrives. Then you had Corbin and other SmackDown talent arrive, and the big brawl continued. Kurt Angle and this was the best part. Kurt Angle comes out on stage, and then he just gets Braun, and then the way that Braun looked at him, it was just like Braun was looking at Angle. He's just like, kill, and then Angle was like, yes, kill, and they just did that head nod thing, and then Braun Strowman came down the ramp and fucking destroyed the entire roster. I fucking love this. Out of anybody, this made Braun Strowman an absolute fucking star.
Even on the ramp, he was taking out guys before he got to the ring with like a big boot. The only thing I hate about this when they do is they play the guy's entrance. Like if it's an invasion, like why are they playing his entrance music with lights?
I agree.
But other than that, it was good.
There was another part that I really liked, which was Samoa Joe beating the shit out of Big E with Xavier Woods' trombone. I don't know if you guys caught that. But at one point he was using it and attacking him. That was pretty fucking fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I love that. A great retaliation from Raw, avenging the, what are they calling it again? Under Siege of SmackDown from 3 weeks ago now, or maybe 4. I thought it was a great way to end SmackDown. I loved Survivor Series season for these reasons. I'm a big fan of, like, if there's going to be 2 separate brands of the crossover and like invasions and stuff like that. I mean, I guess it's just because we never got the really great invasion we all had hoped for. So I'm hopeful of getting another great invasion, even though that'll never happen. With TNA is going to invade Raw.
As long as they're not overdone, invasion angles are good.
Yeah, and this was done fairly well. I like that they kept most of the invasions within 1 week each, Raw getting 1 week, SmackDown getting 1 week. Sure, there was the one where New Day came out and kind of distracted the Shield so that they would lose their titles against Sheamus and Cesaro. But I felt like in terms of actual interactions, there was only those 2 weeks, and I'm completely fine. But you had the initial salvo, then you had the retaliation. There didn't need to be each week you send 2 or 3 guys to take out 2 or 3 guys, which they have a tendency to do. They didn't do that here, and I think the angle worked better, and the hype towards Survivor Series benefited from that as well.
It would have nullified it if he did it every week.
Exactly. It doesn't become special at that point. As soon as you do it 2 weeks in a row, it's not special anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever. And that's how we ended SmackDown. I thought it was a pretty good way to end SmackDown. Great to see Raw get their comeuppance from the original attack. As far as the rest of the card goes, it was all right. Nothing great. Nothing. I was kind of bored during SmackDown this week. Past couple weeks, I've been bored for most of SmackDown. Then they have that one segment that really just kind of kicks it. And I was like, all right, well, SmackDown went from meh to, all right. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys ready to do a little quick Survivor Series predictions before we head on out down the road to steal Stone Cold's gimmick?
Let's do it.
Naya's back. I knew you'd be back, Naya.
I forgot my purse. See ya.
Oh. All right. Bye, Naya. Nia Jax, ladies and gentlemen. You can only find her here each and every week on the Kayfabe Today podcast. I have a feeling if I'm going to tag her this week, I'm like, hey, thanks for stopping by the show, Naya. Another great week of you on the podcast.
Oh, we'll all be blocked by the end of the week. Good.
Good. It's going to be good. All right. So,
gonna get good.
So we're going to do Survivor Series predictions here. Got the match right. Got the match card right in front of me. We'll kick it off here with the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss versus SmackDown's Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Who do you guys got here? It's tough.
Charlotte.
It's tough.
They're still going to be riding the popularity of Rick right now.
I got to go Charlotte.
That's the only reason, though.
Yeah.
I would say Alexa Bliss any other time.
Schmoz, maybe. But, I mean, it's an easy route out for a lot of these champions. You can't do a schmoz for all of them, right?
No,
you can't do every finish dirty. You got to do at least one of them clean. Maybe this is the one that's clean.
Just because of the way I think the rest of the night is going to go, I think SmackDown takes this one. So I'm going to go with Charlotte as well.
Woo!
Yeah, straight
fire?
No.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you? I knew as soon as I said straight, one of you sons of bitches would say fire. Travis, I can't believe it was you. So quick. My compatriot in the Can-Am Delight, stabbing me in the back.
It's Survivor Series season. Friends go out the window, apparently.
That's Royal Rumble, you dolt.
Oh, apparently it's every Big Four now.
See, you can tell.
dolt.
You can tell that I don't want to hurt his feelings. I called him a dolt. Although earlier,
Went 1940s on the insult. Look at that.
Hey, yeah. All right, Intercontinental Champion The Miz versus United States Champion Baron Corbin.
Schmoz.
I'm gonna go with The Miz.
Go Corbin.
I think Corbin needs it more, but I'm hoping The Miz wins.
Corbin.
I think they're gonna book Corbin like the babyface in this match. Call me crazy, because he's gonna the numbers odds, the numbers game with the Miz Siraj and the lone wolf. I don't know.
Maybe. I still stand by
and plus,
The Miz.
Without having to worry about a feud coming out of it, they can just beat Miz, and I don't think it'd be that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's true.
None of it really fucking matters after. This is just a
True.
get eyes on the show, basically.
That's very true. That's very, very true. Then we have our Survivor Series women's match. Team Raw, Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley versus Team SmackDown, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and a future partner to be named at Survivor Series.
It's got to be it's got to be the mystery partner team.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna go SmackDown.
It's Jazz.
Not the Audi. Sorry.
It's Jazz. That'd be good. I wouldn't mind seeing.
It came out to Jazz and Asuka. That's kind of a fantasy match. Two tough ladies.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, or even Jazz versus Nia Jax. Really. Then we'll go to the Cruiserweight Championship match, which is on the pre-show. Enzo Amore versus Enzo. I'm going Enzo.
Yeah.
All right, so then we got, we'll do the Raw Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Sheamus versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. Oh, man. I love both these teams, but I'm going to go.
Be the Usos.
I'm going with the Usos, yeah.
Going with Cesaro and Sheamus. I feel like they need... The Usos are coming off the momentum with the New Day. They're kind of riding on a wave of momentum, and I feel like Cesaro and Sheamus need to win here. And that easily they're like the bigger, stronger team. They could book it that way, too.
Yeah. It's funny that you should mention the New Day, because up next we got the Shield versus the New Day. The Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think this needs conversation. It's just
you can't let the Shield lose. This is the first time with Roman now in an actual, real...
Well, especially since the Reigns was gone the week after that they really kind of reunited. So it was like...
You make the New Day look strong unexpectedly, like, whoa, but they still lose.
Exactly. Next, we'll go to the Universal Championship match. The Universal Champion Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman versus the WWE Champion AJ Styles. Christ. Fuck, man. I think this is the best match that Brock is going to have since he's come back. I think that's a pretty safe take. Not nothing hot there. I think that's a pretty safe prediction. But I got to go with Lesnar. I think they care more about Brock than AJ.
I have a hot take and a bold prediction if you can handle it.
I don't know.
I think everybody...
Let me get my helmet on.
Everybody's expecting KO and Sami Zayn to interfere in the Survivor match. I think they're going to interfere here and cost AJ. And I think maybe Owens and AJ could be the feud instead of Jinder and AJ, like everyone's... Because if anything we've learned with WWE is don't be so fucking sure of what they're going to do. I think they could go with KO with Zayn in his corner against Styles for the title after this. Go
Plus,
that route.
You can get some AJ Sami Zayn matches out of it too.
Exactly.
I like that too. Yeah.
They just main event in Hell in a Cell on a program machine. It makes total sense to go that route, I feel.
Yeah, that's not a bad. Yeah, that's a very good. I didn't need my helmet for that take. That was a good one.
I do have a prediction for the overall outcome of this match, though.
All right.
Just knowing how good AJ is with anybody and everybody, and how much Brock can really get motivated if it's the right situation and really hang in there. I think this might be match of the year.
Woof! Match of the year.
Yeah.
Really bold predictions.
Depending on the outcome, if it's a screw job outcome, it may not be that great.
Yeah,
maybe
no.
It's best match of the year.
It has potential. I'll give it that because AJ Styles is in the ring. So, and finally, the big Survivor Series match. What all this has been building to: Team Raw of Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and now Triple H versus Team SmackDown.
The Ultimate Warriors. SmackDown.
Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and big survivor John Cena. 5-on-5 elimination match. Boys, who is taking this one home?
Drew? It's tough.
Man. Braun?
Braun turns on everyone.
Yeah.
He becomes the sole survivor of Team Braun.
I'm trying to think of who in the match just needs that little bit of extra, like, rub.
Balor. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know we're not the biggest fans of Balor. I
He
think
does.
If he's a sole survivor, I mean, I could see that could be believable.
There's so many fucking things to do in this match, but I think the end game is the two biggest stories told in this is Jason Jordan turning on his father. That gets him or Triple H out of the equation, and somehow Balor overcoming the odds against 1-2 at the end to get him a final push in the Rumble season.
That's fair. Yeah, that's wow. I have nothing to add.
I love it. Book it right now.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Who
to
else
me.
really do you see potential dollar signs with the future more than Balor? I mean, like I said, we don't have to like Kenny Omega to admit that he does good business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, if you just look at the names, Angle doesn't need it. Strowman doesn't need it. Then you have Joe, who doesn't really need it either. Triple H doesn't need it. So that takes care of Raw.
And flat out, to end the show close to home with a hot-ass take, Nakamura can't handle the fucking load. He can't carry that ball. He's in no position right now. He's not refined enough with the language yet to be taken seriously. And this artist shit needs to go away.
Yeah,
what is that?
That's awful.
Goodbye.
What, because
that's
he wears
Prince
a Michael...
Iakea in WCW is what I think of when he was an artist.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he was so cool. I want my top guy to be just like him.
TV title.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, boys. Oh,
nope.
Dear indeed. So, yeah, I think we can all agree Team Raw is who we're predicting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Well, there you go, boys.
Barely. Just barely.
It's going to be close. It's going to come down to, like Travis said, probably 2-on-1 in favor of SmackDown. And if things go the way we predicted here, Balor overcoming these odds. And, yeah, if they're going with Balor into Royal Rumble, then yeah, this would be the perfect time to give him that rub that he desperately needs. Because I'm looking at even SmackDown. Shane doesn't need it. Orton doesn't need it. Roode could use it, but he hasn't been there long enough. Nakamura isn't ready, and Cena certainly doesn't need it. So the only one we really see, and it makes sense, that could really benefit from being the sole survivor here would be Balor. Or at least
Roode
to get
could
the
use it. You're right. Roode could totally use it, but you know what happens if you do it already? You turn him into Nakamura.
Yeah,
because you did it too soon.
Too much too soon. Yeah. So I think Team Raw, and we're going one step further, saying Finn Balor is either the sole survivor or gets the winning pinfall. I'll extend my prediction to that. It sounds it sounds good. It sounds good to me. It makes complete sense too.
Hey, I'm buying a ticket to that show.
There you go. There you go, Trav. You heard it here first, right from Travis's mouth.
Yeah, well, you guys a ticket too if you play cards.
Oh my, jeez, things are getting sexy. So we're gonna end the show real quick. Drew, where can people find you on the internet, and what the fuck do you do there?
All the things. You can find me at Drew Ortman on Twitter, at Kayfabe Today, at PW Journal, at Parade_Gaming. And that's it.
Travis, anything you'd like to... Oh, well, definitely go check out the recently released Hibiki Honors. I watched it before we started recording this. I thought it was great. One of your best videos. And it's fun because everyone is like a little mini documentary. About 5 minutes of your time, you get a little bit of you get a little dose of wrestling knowledge. Be sure to check that out. But Travis, what else you got going on over on your channel?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. As always, on Twitter, at the HibikiTMD, HibikiTMD on YouTube. And you can catch me this Saturday on Future Wrestling Podcast NXT Post Show. I will be there. Woo. And, of course, here as always.
Yeah, I'll be on that, too. Drew, if you want to come on, if you're free on Saturday and you're watching NXT, feel free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we don't talk to each other enough. It'll be a third podcast this week, boys. Me and that's Travis numbers right there.
There you go.
That's Travis numbers of podcasts. Whenever I want to say that somebody's been doing a lot of podcasting, I just say, that's so Travis.
I'm like the Cal Ripken of podcasting. Fucking iron.
There you go. And as for myself, I'm going to do some baseball riot filming. So I'll have some of those videos to kind of tide me over to when I get my green screen. I'm kind of just waiting on that to really dive back into making videos. But I want to put some stuff out there in the meantime. So there'll be some baseball riot, maybe a Borderlands video. I think I still have some Borderlands Borderlands footage on my computer right now, so I could probably edit that. But you always get the Kayfabe Today podcast because they're easy to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, boys. We made it to the end of another week. Thank you very much for being here. As always, Robbie, I hope you're well rested, and I hope you had a good nap. I hope you had your little blankie there with you to keep you nice and safe, and your teddy bear. And next time you miss a show, you're fucking fired. I give you the reins of the show. For 2 weeks in a row, I say, Robbie, make me proud. And you did. You did a tremendous job. And what do now? You no-show. You mother...
Got creative control, and he pulled a no. He pulled a Brett.
Pulled a Brett. You son of a bitch. Using my own Canadian hero against me. How dare you? But my personal issues with my son aside, thank you very much for listening. And this has been... Kayfabe Today podcast.
And I want you. And I want you. And I want you.